All right, time for a video about the, what do we call it, tutorial quiz mastery test. Okay, so the first two videos were the tutorial. There's a couple assignments in there that I tried to go over with you guys, but this is the mastery test. I'm going to go through it and do it with you, go over it. So if you did yours already and you want to redo it, just let me know. I'll let you, but if you didn't already, hopefully you'll just kind of pay attention to this one. Either do it with me or do it after this, and you should get them all right, I would hope. So make this as easy as possible. So I'll get out of the way here. Once you get into the course, so this is what we did this week, the managing income and expenses. And then today we're going to do the mastery test, and that's all that's due this week. And you'll see that go into Infinite Campus as either an incomplete, because you didn't do it, or a pass. It's going to be very straightforward. And then this is what we'll do next week, financial education after high school. Okay, so mastery test, click on that. And we're going to do a few questions together. Pretty straightforward though. So my computer, let me go over here to unanswered. So it says, a recession can have a blank effect on mental health, positive, neutral, or negative. Well, obviously a recession is when money starts to lose its value, people are losing jobs, so it's probably going to have a negative effect on mental health. And this can blank the demand for mental health specialists, probably increase the demand. So that goes back to that first question about the jobs. There are jobs that benefit in bad times, like right now with COVID-19. People in the medical field are doing pretty well. People who have essential jobs or jobs that need to keep functioning right now, they're keeping busy. But then there's a lot of people who are suffering right now in this, I guess, quick mini recession. Hopefully it stays quick. But all right, so that was number one. Let's check our answers. Yep, that's good to go. All right, number two, I think. Here we go. Select the correct answer from the drop-down menus. Complete the statements with suitable words. Ooh, so I think this is the some of those math ones. So Emily gets $800 every 2 weeks. However, she only takes home $600 after deductions from her paycheck. Man, so every 2 weeks she gets $800, but she only takes home $600. So the $800 is Emily's, so that's what she thinks she's going to get paid. You know, that's what her full pay is. That's what we call your gross income. So it's before anything's taken out of it. And then the $600 is your disposable income. A lot of us refer to that as your net. So people call it your take-home. What's your take-home pay or your net pay? But disposable pay is what this is using, okay? Check those answers. Yes, we are good to go. All right, number three, type the correct answer in the box. Spell all words correctly. Yeah, if you spell something wrong, it's going to mark it wrong because this is a computer that's generating your answer key and how well you did. So make sure you're typing things properly and you're spelling it right. But it says complete the sentences. Blank is the sacrifice involved in making one decision over another. That was early on in the first video. So when you give something up to try to achieve something else, like if you want to go get a bachelor's degree or a 4-year degree in something, you have to give up time and money, and that's your opportunity cost. So OPPORTUNITY space COST. Make sure you spell it right. No extra spaces or anything. And that will make sure you're graded properly. Opportunity cost. I guess it capitalizes the O, but I don't think that matters. All right, a couple more here. Number four, type the correct answer in the box. Complete the sentence. Maya likes to write books during her free time. At present, 3 of her books have been published and sold around the world. The income received from selling her books is an example of blank income. So you remember you have your main job, if you have one, and it pays you some money. Back here, that light's pretty bright. But if her book is being sold around the world, she's not going around selling them out of the back of her car. You know, she's not actually working technically for this money. So that's what we're going to call passive income. So it's PASSIVE. So Let's say you buy a property and you're a landlord and you have people living there paying you rent. That's passive income. So that's money that's just generating itself. It involves a little bit of work. It's just not, you're not going to work full time to make that money. And enough people don't have a passive income. And like I said, that's something that I'm really trying to build up in my life personally. But I'm 39. You know, if I had started trying to create some passive incomes when I was in my 20s, or you know, around the time I went to college, I'd have a lot of that generating its own money today. Remember, money's going to make money. We want to send money to work. That's kind of been a theme. Okay, number 5, drag the tiles to the correct boxes. So interest is, let's see, we'll make this quick. The amount earned on bonds or savings accounts. Yeah, I guess that's fair. But to be honest, you're not going to earn much interest on a bond or a savings account. You're going to earn the most interest on investing in mutual funds in the stock market. I guess that's the best place to get a decent interest rate. I mean, you can get a great interest rate if you invest in individual stocks that do well, but that's incredibly risky. So you could also lose a lot of money. So what most people do is they invest in what's called a mutual fund. It's a group, we've talked about it this year, a group of a bunch of stocks together. But again, we'll get to that later. For all you need to know right now, if you put your money into a savings account, they will pay you interest on that money. You will earn money on that money. A very tiny amount though. So, capital gains is the profit earned from selling financial assets. I've told a few guys I used to flip cars, and now I flip homes. So if I buy a crappy house, I fix it up, and I sell it, the profit that I made off of that is my capital gains. And that's the same thing with a car. Or, I don't know, if you bought a cell phone for $50, fixed it up, and sold it for $100. You just made $50 of capital gains. You didn't make the $50 at a job. You made it by investing in something. You put some of your money aside. That was your opportunity cost. At the risk of it increasing and bringing you back more money. That's your capital gains. And the dividends is the amount of money paid to the shareholders of a company. That's a tricky one. We're just going to leave that at that for right now. You know, process of elimination, because we're going to get into that in a little more detail further on. But companies will pay out the people who invest in their companies. And it's called a dividend. Okay, number 6. Select the correct answer. Olivia's employer deducts an amount from her paycheck for the Medicare program. What type of withholding is being deducted? So, Social Security. These are things that we can't get past. This is a separate pool of money that our government holds on to, and they take it out of every working person's paycheck. And the thought is that when you're 65 someday, or whatever the age might be, when that time comes around, that the government will start giving you that money back. It's kind of a built-in socialized retirement system. But unfortunately, it's starting to suffer right now. But either way, the day you start working, a little bit comes out of every one of your paychecks with the thought that someday they'll give it back to you when you're old. Exciting, right? Number 7 already has the answer there, but what type of income do you get through rent? I already mentioned that earlier. That's passive. Or passive income is money that kind of generates itself. It might involve a little bit of work, a little bit of managing, but overall, your money is out there making money. So if you buy a house and you're going to be a landlord and rent it out to somebody, yeah, you had to pay for that house. That was your opportunity cost. That's your investment. You had to put money into that house. But the hope is that the rent that you collect is more than the amount you're paying to maintain that property, to keep that house, to pay the mortgage, to pay the insurance. So you're making money. It's an income that is passive. Earned would be your job income. Earned is my income as a West High teacher. Portfolio income would be the money that my money makes that I have invested in the stock market. And then let's say I own a private business, kind of do, like flipping houses. That's an income also. All right, number 8. What measures the change in prices of a basket of goods and services in a given year? Remember, we talked about that every year. Things are going to get a little bit more expensive. That's inflation. Next question is probably going to make us do some math on that. No, not yet. Jack wants to earn some extra income. His friends suggest that he invest in bonds and stocks. What type of income will James earn from investing in bonds and stocks? Well, again, those are going to be things that go into your portfolio. So anything stock market related would be portfolio income. I haven't heard a lot of people call it that. I don't know. In my world, I guess I would just call that what are your stock market investments or your retirement investments or your individual retirement accounts. But portfolio, I guess that's what they want us to call it here. But realistically, I don't use that term a lot. All right, number 10, the table represents a consumer price index for a basket of goods and services for 3 consecutive years. Again, some math question. I don't think it's necessary for you as a junior in high school to be able to calculate on your own the consumer price index. I think just that if you understand that money loses value every year because the prices of goods goes up, then you understand what inflation is. The thought here is that if, let's say you have, I don't know, let's say you have $10,000 and you're going to save it, you don't want to stick it under your mattress because $10,000 today is not going to be worth the same as $10,000 next year. The price of everything around you has gone up, so your $10,000 is losing value. So unless you can take that $10,000 or $1, wherever it may be, and put it into some kind of investment that grows, it's going to be losing value. That's why we can't just tuck it under our mattress. Okay, but this little scenario went from 100 to 125, 180. Essentially, that's a 44% increase. If you want to do that math, be my guest, but I don't think it's necessary that you know that, so I'm just going to give you the answer to it. Let's see. That was number 10. That is the end of the test. 10 questions. Hopefully you did all right. Go back through. Make sure you did all right. And next week, we're going to do the next one. I'll show you right here. We're going to do financial education after high school. I'm still getting emails every single day asking me what my Google Classroom password is. I do not have a Google Classroom. Everything we're doing is here on Edmentum, and it's going to come from the website. So tell people, tell your friends, brothers, sisters, cousins, that is where you're going to be getting Mr. Murray's government work. In fact, that's where you're supposed to be getting all of your teachers' work. Go to those websites on the West High webpage, staff directory, and where you're seeing these videos, if you click down to the bottom, you'll see a directory. You can go to your other teachers. Otherwise, that's it for this week. I'm going to put one more video up this weekend telling you about the grading policy for the fourth quarter. But I'll tell you right now, it's going to be pretty lenient. You just do the work or you don't. We'll be putting in completions or incompletions into my grade book. So I'm just looking to see that you're in here and you're giving it a shot. But reality beyond what you need to learn for West High and for your junior year and for your government class, this is really good information for your life. And hopefully you're going to take advantage of this opportunity to learn this stuff. Otherwise, have a great weekend. Again, tell people, Murray gave you all the answers. It's in the video. And we'll see you next week.